Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host and my guest is Councilwoman Treva Reid, District 7, City Council of Oakland. Let's talk for a moment about something that you can't avoid, and that is the dumping on the streets of Oakland, the lack of paving in the streets of Oakland, and the general uncleanness of Oakland in terms of the streets. What can we do? And what are we doing to deal with that? Because that's the perception people that drive in Oakland get of Oakland. And we want to change that image, right?
We have to change. I mean, that's like the low-hanging fruit. Like, that's the least of what we deserve, is to have this public health crisis of illegal dumping addressed. Our district, as I shared, has the highest service requests for illegal dumping, abandoned, burned vehicles, homeless encampments, and it's been incredibly impactful for us. We've made investments into ensuring that we've got dedicated blitz crews that go around the city. We've put dedicated support for median, street sweeping, getting back on that schedule. We've hired environmental enforcement officers, people who are on the ground, helping to make some determination on who's responsible for what they're seeing on the ground. We're working to hold our businesses accountable. A significant number of our own businesses are not paying for their waste management services. We've got to negotiate a new waste management contract that also benefits us.
Now, why do we only have one pickup in a whole year when most of other cities around surrounding us have at least two?
The bulky block pickup, I mean, let me tell you this, we do have free bulky block services. So right around the corner here on Edgewater, I believe it's the first Saturday of every month, residents can come and bring.
Yeah, what if they don't have a car, truck, or something?
There's an opportunity that I have in the district where we have bulky block parties, where I bring the waste management bins out into the community. If someone has an interest in partnering with us out in the community, we can get waste management bins secured for us to have community bring their dumping where it's more convenient than coming to Edgewater. We realized that, I think the data was 2021, maybe 2022, it cost us $13 million just to clean up the city.
Well, I can see why. Because every time you clean it up, somebody comes back and dump it down again.
Which leads us to
what about cameras?
Cameras. So I was able to help secure some cameras.
Well, we need a lot more.
Enough cameras. I also went to the Alameda County DA at that time and secured some funding from the county that we've not realized those cameras on the ground. But we did secure some illegal dumping cameras. We got some in our district. Of course, we got a more equitable share, but it still wasn't enough. I'm like, we need cameras on nearly every block.
You need them on Mountain Boulevard, because I saw them put some cameras up there, and I could reach up and grab them down.
Well, the problem,
they weren't put up high enough.
Well, the problem with that camera on the pole location was probably an issue. But the bigger issue is that after we fought to get these cameras, Community District 7 showed up at the Privacy Advisory Commission meeting where they make decisions on what technology we can use for consumer, neighbor protection. We realized we didn't have automatic license plate reader technology on it.
And we need it.
And so we had cameras, but because the cameras didn't have the right technology to actually identify who was actually doing the dumping to enforce and cite them and hold them accountable, it was not as effective. And so now we're in the Privacy Advisory Commission again with our 300 public safety cameras that we're looking to launch on the ground to make sure that we have the right technology with those cameras to hold people accountable. So those are some of the things.
Now, what's private safety?
We also got a pilot in East Oakland, in Councilmember Jenkins' district and my district, where we are giving them larger size containers. What we realized, particularly in COVID, is that one, you got more people living together,
right,
collecting more waste, more people were home, and many people did not want to upgrade or pay for the larger size cart to really accommodate their household needs. So now we've got a pilot where we're giving them a free larger container with hopes that helps people to not, dump when they may not be able to have the adequate size cart. So instead of putting everything in your cart, people start putting stuff just on the street, and that's just not gonna help us clean it up. So those are some of the initiatives that we've got, but the Faith in Action East Bay is an organization, like many of our neighbors, that are holding us accountable to some clear strategies that we're working on them to address and to really determine how do we get through the crisis of illegal dumping. So a lot more investment, a lot more staffing. We got to get people hired into public works. We've got a new public works director who's just started. He's coming to us from Sacramento. You probably haven't
I think I saw the name.
You saw the name. And our Public Works Director has now moved into our Assistant City Administration role. And I will have to say that former Director Duffy, who is now our Assistant City Administrator, in this area here, I'll give you as an example. Meeting with those owners and operators bi-monthly led to deeper investments, like a real cadence of how often the streets would be swept on Hagenberger, how often the maintenance crews would come and trim and prune trees. And so we had to have some dedicated, intentional resources. And a part of that policy directive that I mentioned is that we never had a policy that said, this district, this community, our district, our community, has some of the highest rates of illegal dumping.
And I agree.
We don't have adequate trash receptacles.
I agree, and we got to go to break. And we need more trash receptacles. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Treva Reid, Councilperson, District 7, City of Oakland.